Welcome to Living the Empowered Life podcast, where we discuss all things empowering, encouraging, and inspiring. My name is Yvonne Ellis. I'm an empowerment speaker, author, coach, trainer, and founder of Yumi Empowerment, a company that facilitates the empowerment of people. I help people to make positive life change, live in their purpose, and develop into their best version of self. I share stories, interviews, spiritual encouragement, and actionable tips to empower, encourage, and inspire you to live the life you want. So if you want to live the empowered life, join me each week on my podcast so we can take the journey together. Hello, Empowered Lifers. Welcome to Living the Empowered Life podcast. My name is Yvonne, and this podcast is all about bringing you content that is empowering, encouraging, and inspiring. If it's your first time here, I welcome you. I hope you find this episode to be something of value to you. And to my continued listeners and supporters, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for listening in. If you can all, please make sure you share these episodes with anybody that you know that needs a dose of living the empowered life. And don't forget to subscribe to get the notification of when this podcast episodes, or when I should say, podcast episodes are uploaded. I do them bi-weekly. So if you are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, please hit the follow or subscribe button so you get the notification. And also as well, I do upload the episodes onto my YouTube channel by the same name, Living the Empowered Life. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button over there as well. So guys, where has the time gone? We are now at the end of May. Well, actually today, as of recording this episode, it is the 1st of June. And I was just reflecting today about how quickly the time has gone for 2025. I was reminded of this as well because on my phone, it sends me notifications through Google of past year's pictures and things like that. And today I received a notification about photos I took 3 years ago. And I was thinking, that only just seemed like yesterday I took those photos. And it is so true that time does go by really quickly. And you're probably feeling that already yourself, probably with your year and the way things have gone. I have definitely felt that this year has gone by very, very fast. So in today's episode 110 of Living the Empowered Life podcast, I wanted to talk about mid-year reflection. If you feel like this year hasn't gone the way you'd imagined, you're not alone. A lot of people have been feeling overwhelmed with this year, so much going on. But here's the truth. One shift is all it takes for you to turn things around. And in today's episode, which is called Turn It Around 2025, I want to share with you 3 powerful ways to help you reset right where you are. Now, this is actually a part 2 to the newsletter I released yesterday on May 31st, and it was called Yes, You Can Still Turn It Around. In that newsletter, I shared 3 tips about how you can turn the year around, and I did say in that newsletter that I will be sharing the other 3 tips in this episode of the podcast. So if you haven't subscribed to the newsletter, please hit the newsletter link, which is in the show notes. Basically, you sign up with your email, and at the end of the month, I share with you empowering, encouraging, and motivational content straight to your inbox. And if you would like to get that copy of the newsletter, then please do let me know. So there were 6 tips in all, and 3 were shared in the newsletter yesterday, and I'm going to share the last 3 tips here. So those who are newsletter subscribers were told that if they came over to this episode, they would get the other 3 tips. But before I get into all that, I want to share with you some quotes about turning the year around. The first quote comes from somebody called Maria Robinson. She says, "Nobody can go back and start a new beginning, but anyone can start today and make a new ending." I love that quote. It's so motivational and so encouraging because, you know, a lot of people will probably have written off their year by now, especially if they haven't stuck to their New Year's resolutions or things that they had promised or committed to do this year. So this quote to me is just something that it just reminds people that you can start again whatever day you're on and that you don't have to write off the year. So the next quote is by breaktheframe.com. It says, turning a year around in time for a good one ahead. That is so true. You can start right now and turn your year around right now and be prepared for the following year. And the last quote is by somebody called Michael Altshuler. And he says, the bad news is time flies. The good news is you're the pilot. Well, I like to say actually co-pilot because God is obviously the maker of time and only he knows our days and time ahead for us. So I would say we're a co-pilot, but it is very true. You are the pilot, or I should say co-pilot of what you do with your time. God gives the gift of time, but you co-pilot it by what you do with your time. And yes, it is quite sad in a way that time flies by so quickly, but you can make a difference in your life with the time and the things that you do today. So, as I mentioned, I want to share with you 3 tips to turn your year around. One of the things I've realised, especially over the last year or so, is especially as somebody who has a lot of things to do, has a lot of responsibilities, is how easy it is to get overwhelmed. And when overwhelm kicks in, this is what I found in my experience, it just becomes too much. And I've had to put in some really practical ways and practical things to help me to manage my time so that I can do all the things that I need to effectively. One of those things that I have done, which has made all the difference, because I'm somebody that is always used to multitasking, but as I mentioned over the last year and a bit, found some things quite overwhelming, is to do one thing at a time. When we try to change everything, we usually end up changing nothing. But choosing just one area to focus on gives your energy a direction. I have found this in my experience. I have looked at my diary and seen that when I've focused on one thing at a time, using blocks of time to help me, it really has made a difference. It could be in anything that you're trying to do. Some of the things maybe that you set for yourself at the beginning of the year. For example, in the area of your health, your mindset, relationships, financial, spiritual growth. I want to encourage you just to focus on one thing at the time. What one area of your life would you like to see a win or a change? Think about it and focus on that one area. Even if you've had other things that you wanted to do this year and you haven't managed to do it, I would say to you to put that on the back burner and just focus on one thing. And I tell you what's great about when you focus on one thing, it shows when you're focusing on one thing that your efforts are committed to it. And also as well, that when you see progress, it will build your confidence. That's what focusing on one thing allows you to have, it allows you to be able to build on it step by step. And that progress gives you confidence. And that confidence, when you see that you're making progress, will build momentum. The second tip I want to share with you is to create a 90-day plan. Now, we don't need to have the rest of the year planned, just the next 90 days. Big changes happen through consistent small steps, not pressure-filled overhauls. I want to just share with you how to break down those simple steps. Just set 1 or 2 clear goals for the next 90 days. As I previously said, one goal would be enough for now, I think. The next thing I would say is to break them into weekly and monthly tasks. And you need a planner of some sort to help you to do that. Or if you've got a notepad on your phone, you can use that as well. Another thing I would say about this is to check in with yourself weekly. And remember that it's about progress, not perfection. None of us are perfect. None of us have the perfect day, the perfect time to do anything. It's about just having those little steps of progress that can encourage us, that can help us to have confidence. And I would say to track that progress as well, whether that is using your planner or journal. But you need to keep some kind of documentation of the big changes that you've made in things. Even though they are small steps, they are big changes for you because before you weren't able to do that. So do use a planner or journal to help you track progress. An empowering affirmation for you to repeat is that I am capable of steady, focused change. You need to start telling yourself that you are capable of steady, focused change rather than focusing on what you can't do or the things you haven't done. Try and see if that can help your mindset towards your plan for the next 90 days. And the last tip I want to share with you is to shift the narrative. How many of us have told ourselves really negative things about ourselves or our capabilities? Saying, oh, I might as well not try and do this thing because I said at the beginning of the year I didn't and I didn't do it. I failed. I'm not going to be able to do it. All the negative things that we say to ourselves about the things we're trying to do or about our capability of doing them, we need to change them. It's awful when you're in that state of mind where you can see obviously that you haven't done the things that you need to do, but then you continuously pile on the guilt and the negativity because you haven't done it. If you keep telling yourself the year is over, you will act like it, but you need to shift your mindset. If you say I'm just getting started, everything shifts. And that is what I want to encourage you to do today, to challenge defeatist self-talk with possibility-focused language. Another positive affirmation I want to share with you is about telling yourself every day I wake up is another chance to realign with who I'm becoming. It's another chance for me to work towards the things that I am trying to achieve. Remember, your story isn't done yet. You are still in the middle of the page. So guys, as I wrap up this episode, I just want to remind you to choose one thing to focus on. Make that one thing a 90-day plan for you to focus on, working step by step, checking your progress and writing that down. I want you to shift the narrative, shift the narrative. Don't be thinking about, telling yourself all this negative defeatist talk. Think about swapping your negative talk for positive focused language. And as usual, Empowered Lifers, when I do upload these episodes, I like to just give you a question or a thought to help you to think about the episode. And my call to action for you this episode is, what's the one thing you're recommitting to this month? We are now in the beginning of June, the second half of 2025. I would love to hear from you what one thing you're recommitting to this month. For me, it is recommitting to reading my 10 pages of a book a day. I was doing it, I kind of fell off a little bit, but now I feel a renewed revigoration to go forward and continue to commit to the things that I said that I would like to do. And if you want to share with me just as a symbol of, accountability or, a open declaration of what you're trying to do, message me or tag me. I would love to cheer you on. Now remember, it's not too late to grow. It's not too late to change. This year still belongs to you. So guys, that is it as I finish this episode of the podcast. Episode 110 is all about turning it around. And I hope that the tips I've shared with you will help you to turn things around. If you would like links to my empowerment coaching or any of my books, please visit the show notes description box below. As many of you know, I'm a certified empowerment coach. I help people to focus on their life goals and to become unstuck in their habits. I'm not a qualified therapist. Therapy is for more deeper issues, but I work alongside people to help them to focus on the things that matter the most to them, to empower and encourage them, and to help them to commit to the things they really want to do. And just as I was about to finish the episode, I nearly forgot, guys, to give you the Bible scripture, which is one of the most important things I give on this episode. So today, the Bible scripture comes from Ecclesiastes 3:11. I'm reading from the NIV version. It says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart, yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end." God is the creator and the author of time. He knows the beginning from the end and the end from the beginning. Make good use of your time. Don't worry about the time that has gone past now. There's nothing you can do about it. What you do from this day going forward is what matters. What you do from this day going forward is what's going to contribute to you having a successful year. And on that note, guys, until that next episode, take care.